icons of amazing women. One of 68 from one scholar, an Egyptian scholar. Ibn Hajar named 53 women amongst his direct authorities. 53 women amongst Ibn Hajar's direct authorities, one of the greatest ulama that this ummah has ever produced, and 53 of his teachers are women. I mean, what's going on, folks? What's going on here? Think about this, really. Think about this. Now, here, this is important. This renaissance of women's religious learning coincided with a new assertive promotion by the ulama of Sham and the ulama of Egypt, of Aisha, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ. There was a renaissance of Aisha's position during this same time. This is an important connection, because if you don't know who you were, if you don't know who you were in the past, you can do nothing in the future. The women were suddenly exposed to the greatness of Aisha as an alima, as a scholar, and this created a desire, and that's the only reason I'm mentioning Hani. She was the wife of the Prophet, the daughter of the first Caliph, sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa radiyallahu anhu, as the most foremost female source of hadith. She relates over 2,000 hadiths. An unrivaled source of hadith concerning women. In particular, she was an acknowledged expert on ritual purity. And we can directly relate this to Hani's own concern about the books of ritual purity. Now, the sad thing about all this is the unique importance of Imam Sakhawi's dictionary becomes clear when we recognize that for reasons which we do not understand, women practically disappear from the centennial biography dictionaries that followed him. They disappear. Where'd they go? Where did they go? Al-Ghazi, who died in 1651, Christian, who wrote about the 16th century, included only 12 women amongst his 1,647 entries. Al-Muhibbi, who died in 1699, Christian, included none in his dictionary of 1,289 biographies of his century. And Muradi, who died in 1791, found a place for only one woman among 753 18th century notables. And the biographer of the 19th century, Al-Baytar, found room for only 2 women out of 777 persons. 2 women. Now, I think, because you can see that the 13th century, anybody that studies Islam recognizes the 13th century is the point when it all starts to descend. Because if we don't have women, we don't have men. This is as simple as that. If we don't have women, we don't have men. If we're not educating our women, then certainly our men aren't going to be educated. And one of the unique aspects of this age is that the men seem to be equally as ignorant as the women. And now I think there's a direct correlation. Now, whatever happened 1,400 years ago, that we're living and tasting the fruits of it to this day, the joy that we have in our lives, because I have no joy in my life other than the joy of Islam. Because I knew life before Islam and I knew what it was like. And I think Sidi Abdullah will agree with me. The joy that we have in our lives is the fruit of the labor of those who went before us. It's the fruit of their labor. We're eating the fruit of their labor. What fruit are those who come after us going to eat from? What fruit of those who come after us are going to eat from? Because we're eating the fruits of those who went before us. One of the scholars said, تصدر للتدريس كل مهوس بليد يسمى بالفقيه المدرس فحق لأهل العلم أن يتمثلوا ببيت قديم شاع في كل مجلس لقد بدا هزلت حتى بدا من هزالها كلاها وحتى سامها كل مفلس. People are teaching now, idiots, being called the great teacher, the great instructor. So the people of knowledge of this age have every right to use a piece of poetry that was mentioned often in the olden times. This old hag is so worn out that even its kidneys are showing, which means the camel. Even the kidney, it's so worn out that even the kidneys are showing, and every every impoverished one has surpassed it. What he's saying is that knowledge is gone. Now, there's a beautiful hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ says, you will remain in good condition as long as you don't la tatasawu, you don't equalize. Equalization is the characteristic of the age we're living in. Everybody's the same. If you go to the masjid, you don't see notables. We don't see notables in our masjid anymore. We see this kind of flat state of affairs. Where are the lights that are going to illuminate the people? Where are those who have spent their early youth in the acquisition of knowledge so that they can guide this ummah? And I'm going to tell this, a young man who was a graduate from one of the top universities in this country, he wanted to go to Mauritania to study fiqh. And Jazahullah khairan, his father and his mother gave him permission because they're honorable people. But she curses me because she thinks I'm the cause that he's not going to medical school. We can't give one person for this ummah. Our mothers can't give one son for this ummah. How many doctors do we have? How many engineers do we have? Who's going to learn this deen to give it to the people that come after? We have ulama dying all over the place. Muhammad al-Ghazali, rahimahullah, he just died. Who's going to take his place? The Pakistani scholar Khurram Murad, rahimahullah, rahmatullah alayh, he just died. I was with him not that long ago, and he was asking me he had pain and physical pain in his heart while I was sitting with him, and I said, Subhanallah, are you all right? He said, MashaAllah, MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. How are the brothers in California? How's the Islam? How's the Islam? Is there izdiyat? Is there increase? What are you doing? What are your activities? Really? Well, who's going to replace them? We have to ask this question. Our educational system, which provided for them, has been dismantled. And we know what Al-Azhar was and what it's become. We know there's no more Qarawiyin. And there's an attempt now at reviving it. Inshallah, Allah give them success. There's no more Zaytuna. Zaytuna that Ibn Arafah, one of the greatest imams, taught at. There's no more Zaytuna. It's gone. Where are the ma'ahid? Where are the madaris? Where are the katatib? Where are they? Why are we so obsessed with dunya? We need fuqaha. We don't need doctors that bad. I haven't been to a doctor in 10 years. I need a faqih. I talk to my sheikh on the phone. I need a faqih every day. People ask me questions, and I'm like that poetry I just recited to you. People ask me questions every day. They don't ask their doctors questions every day. People call me every day. What do I do in this situation? Somebody just died. How much? We've got such and such situation. How do we divide the inheritance? I'm going on Hajj and I have debts. Well, what do I do? I did this in my prayer. Is it invalid or what do I do? I left the prayer for 10 years and now I've come back. Do I have to do it? Do I not have to do it? This is everyday life because this is about worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And either we have people that can guide us or we don't. And the chaos, the anarchy, what I would call ideological tribalism that exists in this ummah now. Ideological tribalism. We used to have tribalism based on blood. Now we have tribalism based on ideology. Tribes. We've got tribes going around with names, and they call everybody else kafir or bal or bid'i. I mean, somebody was handing out, Sidi Abdullah, we know this story, man. Somebody was handing out manshurat in London. It's amazing. I don't have time to handing out Imam Hamza Yusuf is bal, bid'i. Handing out at the masjid. Barakallah fik, I need a hasanat. I don't have a problem with it. I feel sorry for him. I'm not worried about me. That gives me encouragement. More hasanat in the bank account. But get a life, like they say in California, man. Get a life. You know, I mean, if attacking me is